Okay, I think it's about time I do a little podcast and address the subject of Robin Williams passing. And I really haven't been able to be on the internet or chat or surf since it's happened because I think with a lot of people who suffer from depression or bipolar disorder, which is kind of the same thing, it's been, a lot of people I've been seeing on YouTube making comments on Facebook, Twitter. You have the people that just make comments to make comments on everything to show, I'm a caring person. Look at this. Hearts out. But these are the same people who, if you were to tell them you were having a rough time or anything like that, they'd be like, just snap out of it. These are the same people. So it's a little hard for me to see the internet right now because I'm just like, oh, shut up. Just shut up. Then you have people like trying to diagnose him. Oh, and now they're researching him. And now it's like, how can this be? And, for anybody who suffers from depression or highs and lows or any type of mood disorder, this is not a surprise. This is one of the side effects of the illness that you always have to be careful for. They always say, like, someone else with the disorders or with depression, how you doing today? Well, I'm still alive. That's what you say. Or it's like, hopefully I don't go out crash and burn, which is like, hopefully you don't, take your own life. And so you spend most of your life trying to avoid that point because eventually, whether it's monthly or yearly, you get to that point and that's when you start battling the demons. And it's called a mental illness. It's categorized in a mental illness for a reason because that's the mental illness part that takes over. And anybody who has had thoughts of ending their lives ever most likely have depression because it takes a special mindset to get there, right? I mean, yeah, some people are like, I wish I wasn't here. I'm hurting so much. Things like that. But this is very, very different. So I've been kind of staying away from the internet because it's kind of not triggering me, but it's kind of making me depressed watching this, I'm glad people are talking about it and stuff, but I don't know why no one cared before. And I think the reason is because, this actor was well loved and people are surprised. But anybody who suffers from it is not surprised. One thing you got to keep in mind is that many, many comedians, actors, actresses, musicians, writers, people with exaggerated creative ability, energy, many of them are diagnosed with depression or bipolar disorder. And I've been talking about this for years on my shows, because my shows actually began dedicated towards, that illness. And you have people like Jim Carrey. You can see by his behavior. There's Britney Spears. There's just so many, but Robin Williams was always one of those ones that you would bring up because his was in the open. So, and I do get offended, there's all, look at the clown, sad clown, and it's like, fuck you. I feel like, fuck you guys. He wasn't a clown. I mean, yeah, he is a comedian, but nah, he just had a lot of energy, and he was a creative, animated person. He was able to do all these things. I don't know. People are just like labeling and that's why I'm just staying off the internet for a couple days because I'm just like, I don't want to see it anymore. This is getting ridiculous. It almost turns into a hysteria, At least just if you are that interested and you're just not interested in the great things to text for the time, on Twitter and Facebook, educate yourself on it because chances are there's people in your family who have this disorder or people who have been trying to reach out to you and you haven't even noticed because you're telling them, oh, just snap out of it. So if you're really serious and you really do care, just educate yourself in it a little bit, know the signs, and, help your friends and family. And stop tweeting on the Twitter and Facebook to try to make yourself look good. Actually do something to take away some of the stigma from it. Because I'm going to tell you, there are people, in my experience, that they'll be on there and like, oh, I want to kill myself. I'm just going to go away. I'll do this and this. Because they want the attention. But that's not the real ones. The real ones are ones that don't say anything at all. And they're the ones who kind of hide away in a room and they stay there. They don't see all the achievements they have done. They don't see all the good things that are going on in their lives. At the moment, they're in their darkness with their demons, and they're battling their demons. And I guess that's the best way to describe it. You're battling things, the unseen things, and many survive. Many people go on hiding for a couple of days, battling them, and people don't know what's going on. Like, what? They were just here, and they were all hyper and happy and excited, and what do you mean? Now they're like hiding out, and then they come back out again? That's a typical sign, because you got your highs and lows, and the lows can be very low. And if you add alcohol or add any kind of other substances to it, it makes it worse. So, that's why I always talk about eating right and trying to take care of your body and stuff, because all that plays into it, your mental health. Those are my thoughts on the subject, and thank you for listening to Des Rose Radio.